Never knows how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have messed with. That's me.
I am not an African American.
You're Oreo cookie, white in the inside and black on the outside.
I don't have an afro, I have an Amerifro.
Talking that idiotic stuff you talk about, I would slap you. Go ahead. Make my day.
Black at the ace of spades, but 100% American.
Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being with me. Super Bowl night, Bill O'Reilly interviewed the fallen Messiah right during the halftime there for about 10 minutes, I believe. And then after that live interview, the 10 minutes live interview, he interviewed him off. They did a pre-recorded interview. O'Reilly played some of that last night. Here are some of the sound bites from the Obama, Bill O'Reilly versus Barack Obama. Soundbite A1 there, Andre. This is about the healthcare website and Sebelius. Obama, healthcare website is up and working. O'Reilly, I don't know about that. AP reports 8% says it is. Only 8% of the people who tried to get on there say that it's working well. The rest, no, it's not working, according to them. And Obama asked O'Reilly, why didn't you fire Sebelius? O'Reilly asked that of Obama. And Obama, we have 3 million new sign-ups. O'Reilly, you're not going to answer that. So here's the first example of Barack Obama trying to avoid a good, what I thought was an excellent question. Listen to this.
I don't think anybody anticipated the degree of problems that you'd had on healthcare.gov. The good news is that right away we decided how we're going to fix it. It got fixed within a month and a half. It was up and running, and now it's working the way it's supposed to, and we've signed up 3 million people.
I don't know about that, because last week there was an Associated Press poll of people who actually went to the website, and only 8% of them feel that it's working well. Why didn't you fire Sebelius, the secretary in charge of this? Because, I mean, she had to know after all those years and all that money that it wasn't going to work.
You know, my main priority right now is making sure that it delivers for the American people. And
you're not going to answer that?
What we've ended up doing is we've got 3 million people signed up so far. We're about a month behind of where we anticipated we wanted to be.
Isn't that amazing? You notice how he just totally avoided answering that question. And O'Reilly said, you're not going to answer that? You ask this guy where he's going, he tell you where he's been. He doesn't answer questions. And liberals are good at not answering questions. Another follow-up question on Sebelius. O'Reilly, I'm a taxpayer paying Sebelius' salary. Obama, we hold everyone accountable. O'Reilly, but she's still on.
But I'm a taxpayer, and I'm paying Kathleen Sebelius' salary, and she screwed up, and you're not holding her accountable.
Well, I promise you that we hold everybody up and down the line accountable. But when we're midstream, Bill, that we want to make sure that our main focus is how do we make this thing work so that people are able to sign up, and that's what we've done.
All right.
But she's still on. She's still working there, sir. Yet, once again, he does not answer the questions. He does not answer the questions. And see, when you're doing I hope you understand, when you're interviewing people like this, you don't have time to sit there and argue with them about not answering the question. It speaks for itself, really, because if you argue with them about not answering the question, you get nothing in during the interview. And that's the intent, at least one of the intents of the people like Obama. He doesn't want to answer the questions, but he want to waste time arguing so you don't ask him any other questions. O'Reilly asked about Benghazi.
General Carter Ham, you know the general,
Yes,
security in Africa. He testified that on the day that the ambassador was murdered and the 3 other Americans, all right, he told Secretary Panetta it was a terrorist attack. Shortly after General Ham said that, Secretary Panetta came in to you. Did he tell you, Secretary Panetta, it was a terrorist attack?
You know what he told me was that there was an attack on our compound.
He didn't use the word terror?
You know, in the heat of the moment, Bill, what folks are focused on is what's happening on the ground. Do we have eyes on it? How can we make sure our folks are secure?
I just want to get this on record. Did he tell you it was a terror attack?
Bill, and what I'm answering your question. What he said to me was, we've got an attack on our compound. We don't know yet. We don't know yet who's doing it.
Amazing. The answer is yes or no. He evaded the question yet again. Obama, another question on Benghazi, the question became, who was attacking us? And O'Reilly also talked about how Susan Rice went out and called it a spontaneous demonstration from a YouTube video. Listen to this.
So the question ends up being, who in fact was attacking us?
But it's more than that, because of Susan Rice.
No.
It's more than that, because Susan Rice goes out and tells the world that it was a spontaneous demonstration off a videotape, but your commanders and the Secretary of Defense know it's a terror attack. Just as an American, I'm just confused.
And I'm trying to explain it to you if you want to listen. The fact of the matter is that people understood at the time something very dangerous was happening, that we were focused on making sure that we did everything we could to protect them. In the aftermath, what became clear was that the security was lax, that not all the precautions that needed to be taken were taken, and both myself and Secretary Clinton and others indicated as much.
This whole Benghazi thing, do you realize how serious the attack was? And that we lost 4 Americans, one of them an ambassador? Do you realize that? This is not like some game. This was a serious, serious thing. And yet, we have the fallen Messiah playing games with it, covering it up. 4 people dead. And he's acting like we're talking about a riot in South Central L.A. somewhere. They asked for more security over there. Barack Obama did not send it. Hillary Clinton did not send these people help. 4 Americans, folks. And this guy is still sitting there lying to us. And yet, the people sit by and let him get away with it. There needs to be every American marching on Washington, D.C., demanding impeachment for this guy. If this was President Bush and something as serious as this took place, every Democrat in the country, and then they would have imported some more illegal aliens from Mexico and everywhere else to march on D.C., demanding that, even though they would not have cared that much about it, but because it was a Republican white president, they would be demanding that he is impeached. But no, this guy, this is a serious thing, folks. We're not talking about Big Mama eating up all the ribs or anything while giving your kids potato chips, dry chips, diet chips, or whatever you call them. We're not talking about Stevie Wonder and Snoop Doggy Dogg at the White House. We are talking about 4 dead people who were attacked by our enemies, people who believe that we are infidels worthy of death, and Barack Obama is protecting them over the American folks. Can you imagine if those were your sons, your uncles, your nephews, your cousins, your brothers, your dad? That would be, my heart goes out to the family of those 4 dead people. One other one on this about Benghazi is concerning the cover-up of political Obama. We ended up creating a political agenda People have it, and O'Reilly goes on to say, people believe it was for the sake of your campaign, Mr. President, that you guys covered this thing up.
What ends up happening is we end up creating a political agenda on
Absolutely, and
something
that
in
was
which
my next question.
Democrats and Republicans should be unified in trying to figure out how are we going to protect people in the
I got to get to the IRS, but I just want to
Okay.
say that your detractors believe that you did not tell the world it was a terror attack because your campaign didn't want that out.
Bill, think
That's
about
what they believe.
And they believe it because folks like you are telling
No,
them
I'm
that.
not telling them that. I'm asking you whether you were
And
told
what I'm
it was a
saying
terror
is,
attack.
and what I'm
And
saying is that is inaccurate.
All right.
We revealed to the American people exactly what we understood at the time. The notion that we would hide the ball for political purposes when a week later we all said, in fact, there was a terrorist attack taking place the day after I said it was an act of terror, that wouldn't be a very good cover-up if that's what we were...
Man. And he's laughing about it. We're talking about a riot in Watts. The President of the United States of America. You know, the unfortunate thing about all this is, as my friend Rush Limbaugh would say, low information voters are eating this up. They're sucking it up. It's distract them. They believe Obama. You heard about the guest yesterday, a good guy, in-studio guest, means well, black guy. He believed the Republicans are holding Obama back. He believed the media. He was stunned to hear me say it wasn't true, because that's all he's been hearing, and he believed that to be true. And so the low information voters, as Rush called them, believe in this fallen Messiah, this crap that he's talking right now about 4 Americans murdered or attacked by our enemies. Bill O'Reilly asked Obama about the IRS corruption. O'Reilly says, some IRS, some say IRS was used for political reasons. Obama, absolutely wrong. Listen to this.
What some people are saying is that the IRS was used at a local level in Cincinnati, maybe other places, to
Absolutely
go after.
wrong.
But how do you
Absolutely
know
wrong.
that? Because we still don't know what happened there.
Bill, we do. That's not what happened. Folks have, again, had multiple hearings on this. I mean, these kinds of things keep on surfacing, in part because you and your TV station will promote them.
But
when
don't
folks
there are
actually...
unanswered questions?
Bill, when you actually look at the stuff, there have been multiple hearings on it. What happened here is that
But
you've got
there's no
a 501c4
definition
law that people think is confusing. No, that the folks did not know how to implement.
Okay.
Because it basically says,
So you're saying
if
there's
you're
no
involved,
corruption there at all? No.
That's not what I'm
Flat.
saying. That's actually...
No, but I want to know what you're
hearing-
saying. You're the leader of the
Absolutely.
country. You're saying no corruption? None.
No, there were some boneheaded decisions
Bonehead
out
decision.
of a
But
local
no
office.
mass corruption.
Not even mass corruption, not even a smidgen of corruption, I would
Okay.
say.
How about the fact, Mr. President, that they went after Tea Party and conservative, Tea Party members or organizations and conservative? And remember the woman who took the fifth during the hearing? She pleaded the fifth, the woman that was in charge of this. We had 2 IRS officials who pleaded the fifth. Would not testify, folks. There's not a smidgen of corruption there. And if you notice, if you're watching all SS 24/7, Obama is grinning, and as Bill is asking the question, and he's trying to blame it on Fox News. Oh, you guys are reporting that. He hates Fox News, by the way, Obama does, because they exposes what he's doing as opposed to liberal media. One final one for now I want to get to. Bill O'Reilly allowed his audience to send in questions to ask Barack Obama. It's concerning his fundamentally transforming of America. And from a woman by the name of Kathy from Fresno, California, she said, Mr. President, why do you have to fundamentally transform America? And Obama responded, we have to make sure If we work hard, you can get ahead. Listen to this.
I got a letter from Kathy Lemaster, Fresno, California. I said I would read one letter from the folks, all right? Mr. President, why do you feel it's necessary to fundamentally transform the nation that has afforded you so much opportunity and success?
I don't think we have to fundamentally transform the
But
nation.
those are your words.
I think that what we have to do is make sure that here in America, if you work hard, you can get ahead. Bill, you and I benefited from this incredible country of ours, in part because there were good jobs out there that paid a good wage, because you had public schools that functioned well, that we could get scholarships if we didn't come from a wealthy family in order to go to college.
Right.
That, you know, if you worked hard, not only did you have a good job, but you also had decent benefits, decent health care.
They're cutting me off.
And for a lot of folks, we don't have that. We've got to make sure that we're doing everything we can to expand the middle class and work hard. And people who are working hard can get into the middle class.
I know you think maybe we haven't been fair, but I think your heart is in the right place.
So his heart is in the right place. If his heart is in the right place, why is he fundamentally changing America? Why is he making it so difficult for people to get jobs and get the opportunities in this great nation? He's not making it easier, he's making it harder. And what Obama just said, he doesn't believe in that. All the stuff he just said about America, he hates those things. That's why he's changing them. The guy is changing everything while pretending he's in support of those freedoms. It's just like absolutely mind-blowing. But no, I told you not to vote for the fallen Messiah. You didn't listen. Patrick Root is coming up next. The smartest white man on this side of heaven. And he is on fire. Back in a moment.